Hey everyone, James Reeves, tfbtv, here at the best gun shop in Europe, possibly the world, Austria Arms here in Vienna with my buddy Martin. Interesting thing, whenever I come over to different countries, different continents, love talking about what's popular, because what guns are popular in the US are not necessarily the guns that are popular in Europe. So I know myself personally and the viewers out there are very interested to see what's popular here at, again, one of the best gun shops in Europe. Lovely spot here. Martin, thanks for having us. Really appreciate it. And you guys have a YouTube channel too, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the description if you want to check out the Austria Arms YouTube channel. But right now, we are talking about the top 5 most popular handguns in Austria. So let's go ahead and get started. Franz. Lovely. Look at that. This actually is a bit of a surprise for me. So what do we have here?
Well, we have 2 Italian classics, but a bit new versions of them. It's a Beretta 92 in the M9A3 variant and the 92X. And in Austria, we seeing these being more popular and popular because people love the 92 Beretta design. It's really iconic, and the latest version of the M9A3 is quite popular among the people, and sport shooters tend to take the 92X.
See, if anything is really surprising about this, it would be the fact that we're not looking at classic Beretta 92s. You're saying that the better selling ones are like the new variants that Beretta is releasing.
It's comparable to the iPhones. You know, everyone wants the latest version. It's crazy for that.
That's really funny. That's what, because in the United States, I feel like a lot of people out there, we still like the classic Beretta 92, and I don't own any of these newfangled Beretta 92. So that's very interesting to see that kind of inverse philosophy where you have like the new iPhone, everybody wanting to buy the new 92. I see a little pricey, €1,955 for the fancy 92X, the M9A3 for about €1,400.
But that's a second-hand one. Usually they're like 1,500 or so.
Oh, so I mean, guns are a lot more expensive here. I mean, you know, we'll talk about prices a little bit later as we move along the list, but comparatively speaking, yeah, these are a little bit more expensive than what we have in the US. But why don't we move on to the number 4, Franz? Okay, all right, I get this. So CZ.
Exactly, the Czech counterpart, also very popular, and a lot of people, especially in the IPSC community, they go for CZ because it's basically, you cannot really get around CZ if you're a competition shooter.
Right. I mean, you would say that they're probably the best that you can get, at least in Europe.
I mean, they're very close to Austria since it's from Czech Republic, so you get everything in terms of spare parts and repairs. Especially if you're a competition shooter, you need a lot of spare parts if something breaks or so. You are easy to go with those Zs, and the Shadow 2 is very, very popular. And if you're really more into the dynamic stuff, you go for the Shadow 2.
The orange.
The TS2.
Yeah, the TS2. Yeah. So what's the difference between these two?
Well, this is single action, this is a double action, which is also available as single action, but this is more with the heavy frame and with the sound burst for...
Oh, sure, the gas
IPSC.
pedal. Yeah. So these are fancy prices too, north of €3,000 for these bad boys. Funny story that you probably don't care about, Martin, but I was at the CZ factory just a few months ago. I flew into Prague and drove, and they're like, hey, dumbass, why didn't you fly into Vienna? I didn't realize that Vienna is closer to the CZ factory than Prague is.
True.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. But what do you think of these personally?
Very good. Yeah, my brother owns a CZ, but not the Shadow 2, the Shadow 1, the series before that, and he really loves it, and it's very well shooting. So if you're a beginner and you start with a CZ, you really shoot good without much training. So it's very easy to shoot with them.
And I think right now is a good time to emphasize the fact that you guys have a different licensing system than how we deal with things legally in the United States. So for many Austrian citizens, you guys have a number of slots, right? That are on, these are Class B guns. They're semi-automatic pistols. You can only own so many, correct?
Yeah.
So for you, you're not going to really buy like a super cheap gun. You're going to be more likely to spend a lot. You can only own a limited number of guns. You're going to spend 2 racks of euros on like a really expensive gun, right?
Depends. I mean, we have customers who are really going for the high quality gun level where you pay a few thousand euros. And there are people who cannot really afford that much in a gun, and then they're taking a bit cheaper weapons, which are also very good.
Speaking of fronts, what do we got for number 3? Let's see it. And see, here we go. This is something a slightly less expensive, but not much, right?
We have the Walthers. Walther, also very, very famous manufacturer from Germany. And with the PDP series, they really hit the nail. They are super popular. People love them. And in terms of ergonomics, the PDP is one of the best pistols, actually, in my opinion, on the market.
I would tend to agree, and you have the PDP F here. I reviewed that. This is the compact, I think 3.5-inch barrel on this one. Actually really handy, really ergonomic, very smooth shooting in my opinion. So I like these a lot. What are these going for over here? So, I mean, you know, €900. I'm sitting here saying, like, looking at everything else, we're getting a little bit less expensive here, but these are really, really good high-end German pistols. What do you think of them personally, Martin?
Personally, very good. If you're used to Glocks, the PDP is way more ergonomic, but it really depends how you're used to the gun. Personally, I really love the gun. It shoots good, but it's not a pick for me personally because I am used to the Glock that much that every time when I shoot a Walther, I have to readjust my grip. Although it's a very good grip, but for me personally, the grip of the Walther is, how should I say, too ergonomic.
Too ergonomic, right? Yeah, it's too comfortable. I hate it when stuff's really comfortable. I'm with you.
That's just my case, but it's a good gun, and it's definitely something I would recommend.
All right, well, let's see what's next. Now this was a shocker to me. We talked about this earlier this week when talking with some guys, some gun guys, and they're saying that Canik is really coming for the European market right now.
Absolutely,
yeah. The Turkish Canik pistols.
Turkish Canik pistols, and I really have to tell you, quality-wise, they're really, really amazing.
It's so funny to me.
They make an excellent product with a very good price range where you get a lot of things in terms of accessories and features for not much money.
What are we talking about for the price range here?
Well, if you check out that one, the micro compact, this is €680 with a holster, with optics ready cut, with second magazine, and this is a very cool gun for concealed carry since it has a 12-round magazine. And what I really also is a cool feature in my opinion is that you can take any magazine from the full-size Canik, which fits into this micro compact weapon, which is not the case. I mean, if you're looking at a Glock 43, you have a slimline magazine, it doesn't fit. When it comes to
a Glock 19, gun. Right.
And if you take now the magazine of the full-size Canik, it fits into the MC9 micro compact.
And I was talking with your father. He was giving me the tour of the place, which again is absolutely beautiful. And he said he couldn't believe how well these are selling here for you guys.
And quality-wise, they're amazing and they shoot awesome. The trigger is super, and now they have this complete package, and you get
oh my God,
a whole kit.
Holy shit!
With 2 holsters.
So that comes with it?
Yeah, this is the call it the influencer package, where you have one holster with the gun, another holster where you have the light included, then a spare mag holder, light and a red dot from Canik, 3 magazines, a cleaning kit, back straps, basically a ton of stuff.
And I saw, it's funny, that makes a lot of sense. I saw a bunch of these suitcases back there in the vault, and I was like, what are we looking at here? You know, so that is really funny. That makes a lot of sense. So that, biggest surprise, I would say, for me, to see that Canik is just crushing it around here. But what do we have for the number 1 pick? So you faked me out for a minute there, Martin. You almost got me, but I knew that wasn't going to be true. We have for the number 1, totally unsurprising because I would be willing to bet that the Glock 19 is the best-selling pistol in the United States as well. But that's your bestseller here?
I would say yes, yeah.
Talk to me about it.
I mean, among all these pistols, Glock, since it's an Austrian company, and basically it's 400 meters away from our shop.
That is so funny. Like, I love that. They make them right there.
And obviously, it's one of the best-selling pistols. in Austria.
Yeah, sure.
And people also really like to buy something locally built, and that's why they also go for Glock. And Glock is also doing law enforcement discounts in Austria. They have this special program, so if you're from the police or from the military, you get a discount if you show your ID card, and that makes the gun also very attractive.
Yeah, sure. And this is important to highlight, I think, where we were talking about the Canics being around like 900 euro, like, right? 800, 900 euro. A Glock here is a little over 1,000 euro for a Glock 19.
MOS, they raised the prices since 2 weeks now. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. But, you know, for us, don't hate me, Martin. That's like a $500 gun. Like in the United States,
That's
we
true.
pay, like a little bit less than half, even though you guys get them right down the street, but you didn't hear it from me. So anyways, totally unsurprising that your next door neighbor, literally 400 meters down the road, is the #1 best-selling pistol that you have here. Martin, thanks a ton for walking us through this. Guys, if you're ever in Vienna, make sure you stop by Austria Arms. Thanks for watching. Take care.